Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Thursday, so it's time for another Throwback Thursday video, Storytime video. So obviously if you've clicked on this video, you know what this is. Title here, I don't know, somewhere here. So before I get into the story, I just wanted to put a little disclaimer out there that I am in no way, shape, or form trying to force you guys to believe what happened to me, the experience I went through. I am no way trying to like push any of that on anybody. These are just experiences that I have gone through in the past that I thought I should share with you guys. The second thing is that I do tend to be a little bit more sensitive when it comes to these things. Again, that's just the way I feel. I think it happens to me a little bit more than the average person, but yeah. And then along with that is that I do tend to believe that my family, like almost everybody in my immediate family, has had some type of paranormal experience, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a thing that happens in our family. Well, anyways, so yeah, that's just kind of what I want to let you guys know before. So both of these experiences happened at my grandma's house. For as long as I can remember, we used to love staying at my grandma's house. That was where we would always be almost every weekend. It's just always at Granny's house. And when we would go and stay the night, it would usually be me, my sister, my brother, my cousins. Like, it would be a group of us staying the night at grandma's house. And I remember being, I don't even know how old I was, probably like 5, 6 years old. Mind you, I'm the oldest out of all of us that would stay the night. So I remember us going over one night, and the way my grandma's room was set up is she had like a queen size bed or a full size bed. I don't know, it just seemed really, really big back then. She had a bed against the wall, so say my bed would be against the wall, and then on the other corner she would have a twin size bed. So when we would stay the night, my grandpa would sleep in the twin size bed, and he would let all of us sleep with my grandma on the big bed. And while we were at grandma's, grandma would always let us get away with a lot of things. Like, we would stay up late at her house, we'd watch cartoons really late, play games. We would do a lot of things. And I remember one night in particular, we had stayed really, really late awake, probably almost like till midnight. By this time we were all getting really tired, so my grandma's like, okay, let's go to bed now. So we all went into the room, we climbed into the bed with her, just the way it always is, what always was, that we would always, you know, sleep with her. So I remember we all climbed in bed, and my grandma, well, we had this doll. I don't even know who it belonged to. I think it belonged to my cousin or something. It was like a baby doll. Maybe she's like about this big, and she squeaks. So when you would squeeze her belly, she would like make that squeaky sound. That kind of like, it was supposed to be kind of like a cry or something. So she would make these noises, but only if you squeezed her. There's no way to make that sound unless you are pushing air into her belly. My grandma also, side note, my grandma was really on top of us when it came to taking care of our toys and our dolls in particular. She did not like us to hit them. She did not like us to just throw them everywhere. She did not like us to have them dirty. She always had, I don't know if it's like this Mexican superstition or whatever, where, you know, the doll will do to you what you do to them. So like, I don't know, it's just like crazy stories she used to tell us. I don't know if it was just to scare us or just so we wouldn't destroy these dolls or what the case was, but she was really strong-headed when it came to do not F with your dolls, pretty much. So okay, that's just a little side note. But back to the story. So we had this doll, and it was in a living room. According to my memory of that night previous, we were playing with it and we left it in the living room. We all went into the bed. We were all laying down, probably like 15-20 minutes into laying in bed. We hear the doll squeak, and we kind of like just look at each other in the bed, and we're like, what the hell? And we hear it squeak. We did not have any pets, so there was like nobody in the living room that could step on it or you know, make noises with it or whatever, play with it, because we were all in the bed laying down. My grandpa was laying down. We were all in the room. There was nobody in the living room. So the doll started squeaking. And then we just kind of like looked at each other, and my grandma kind of thought that we had the doll in the bed, and we're like, no, we left it in the living room. So again, maybe like a couple minutes passed, and it squeaks again. So by this time, my grandma's like, okay, you guys need to stop playing, you know, go to bed, you know, quit that shit pretty much. And we're like, it's not us. So we kind of like, I remember she got out of bed and she went into the living room looking for it, like where the hell is it? Maybe something's like pressing it. Maybe there's like the toys are on top of it and it's just, you know, like something's making it move or squeak. So my grandma gets up, she goes into the living room and she's looking for this doll and she cannot find it anywhere. My grandma's house is not that big to begin with. So she's looking for it in the living room where we were all playing and it's nowhere in sight. She looks under the couches, it's not there. And we're like, well, we don't know what the hell happened to it. We didn't have it. And the squeaking sound was coming from the living room. So we're like, well, we don't know where it went. So I remember we're like, okay, whatever. We just fell asleep. The next morning we woke up and the doll was underneath our freaking bed. And I remember I woke up first and we're just like, well, where the hell's the doll? So we started looking for it in the living room and we came to find it in the room underneath our bed. It was just like the creepiest thing. There was no way it could have gotten there without one of us moving it, and everybody was still asleep, and it was like, it was just random, creepy. I don't know how it got underneath the bed, but it was underneath the bed. So yeah, that was just like a creepy experience. The second thing that happened at my grandma's house, we used to have this dog, it was like a golden retriever or something, I don't know, it was like one of those big, like, if I can find a picture of the type of dog he was, I'll put it in here somewhere, but if I can't, then hopefully you guys get the picture from what I'm gonna try to explain it as. So it was this really big, fluffy, golden dog. And we loved this dog. He used to always, I think we called him, I don't remember his name. What's his name? I don't recall his name, but he was just a big dog that we used to have, and we for as long as I can remember when we were little, we always had this dog, and he would always go into the front of the house. Like after he was outside and he wanted to come inside, he'd go to the front of the house and he'd like scratch on the screen door. But my grandma's screen door had like wood panels and then it had the screen. So he would scratch at the wood until we opened the door and let him in. So again, we had this dog for years, and there's so many years we've had him. He passed away, and I remember it was just like the saddest thing ever. And my grandpa was really attached to him. My grandpa ended up burying the dog in the backyard. He's still buried back there to this day. And he buried him in the backyard, and we kind of like just went out there and saw the dog burial, and you know, the whole putting a family member to rest kind of thing we did. So probably like a week after the dog had passed, we ended up going all back to my grandma's house, and we were in the living room. It was late at night. It was like in the afternoon. The sun already had gone down, and we were in the living room watching cartoons or something. We're doing something in the living room, and all of a sudden we hear scratching at the door, like the dog is trying to come in, but the dog already had passed away. So I remember like telling my grandma if she heard the noise, and she's like, yeah, it sounds like somebody's scratching at the door. So my grandpa went out there, and he was like looking to see if there was like a cat or some type of animal outside like scratching at the door, and he couldn't find anything. So it was just really, really weird how something that our pet used to do all the time was still happening after my pet had passed away. So yeah, that was just really creepy, and it happened a couple of times, and every time it happened we went outside and there was nothing there. There was nobody there. There was no cats, no random animals, like street animals, nothing out there to be scratching on the wall. So yeah, so those are just two of my little paranormal experiences that I've had in the past. I have plenty of other stories that I can share with you guys if you guys want that. Also, my mom has tons of them from when she used to live back in Mexico that creep the hell out of me. So I don't know if you guys would be interested in, you know, hearing any of those. If so, go ahead and leave that in the comment section, and maybe next Thursday I can do a story time with my mom or something. I don't know. What do you guys want to hear? What do you guys want to see? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't. You know, I'd really like that. I'd love you forever. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.